Hey guys, Darina here. I have had a few requests to show you guys how to do eyebrows. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is something that really stressed me out because I didn't know how to do them and I didn't want to look crazy, right? Like we all have that where you're like, I'd like to maybe clean it up a little bit, but I don't know what I'm doing. So what I want to do is I want to show you how I learned to fill in my eyebrows. You can use these tips with any brow products basically, okay? So the first thing that I want you to do is you kind of want to look at your brows, the natural shape of them. You can actually change it. There's nothing set in stone saying that you can't make your own shape, but if you go off of what you already have, it tends to be a little bit easier, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm using a brow pencil. I didn't even know this was a thing, but so it's got just a nice tapered edge. If you'll look, it's super thin. The other side of this has a spoolie. This is a spoolie. It's a fun name, something fun to play with. But what it's gonna do is you're gonna be able to basically comb your eyebrows, get them all in shape, and I use it for blending as well, okay? So we're gonna do kind of basic. Everything that I'm teaching you here, you can use. You don't have to go to the extreme. We're gonna go with a real bold brow just so that you can really see the difference. And then I'm gonna show you how to clean them up, okay? The Brow Obsession palette in the light shade, I believe. Blonde. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start up. You'll notice here that there's 5 different little palettes, okay? Don't let that confuse you. The first one, you have your 2 brow colors, okay? We're gonna explain what that's about. Then you have highlights. You have a cool toned highlight and a warm toned highlight. And then the last is like a pomade. This is like hair gel for your eyebrow. Hair gel for your eyebrows. I didn't even know this was a thing. Let's go ahead and get into it, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use my brow brush. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of the dark so that we can really, so you can see everything that I'm doing. Freeze frame. Have you subscribed to my channel? And if so, did you click the little bell so you know when new videos are being uploaded? You might wanna do that. Back to what we were doing. So I've got a little bit of product on the end of my brush and I wanna show you how I fill them in. Again, you can kind of go around it. I'm just gonna give you the basic of how I learned, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it next to my nose. See the edge right here? It's like a little place, a little resting area. Okay, and above, see that tear duct right there? Yes, that's where I cry sometimes. Not very often. Okay, but we're gonna go up and we're gonna make a mark. So, usually I wouldn't say to have such a dark. I would use a lighter shade to do this, but just so you can see it, I wanted to do a dark, okay? So, you have your first mark. Guess what? This is where your eyebrow is going to begin. Okay, it's the beginning of the journey. The next thing is I'm actually looking in a mirror sitting behind my phone. You wanna look straight into the mirror. You don't wanna use like a handheld mirror. I have found I usually mess it up when I do that, but you want to go see the outside of the iris, so the green part. If you move, guess what? It moves too. So you want to look straight into the mirror and you want to go right to the side of it, okay? So you can kind of see that that's what's happened there. Okay, and the last one is super fun. Okay, edge of the nose, edge of the eye. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start here. We know my brow starts here, so we're gonna start on this line. We're gonna go down to the base of the hair. And I'm going to build a foundation. That's right, it's like building a house. I'm basically like a construction worker at this point. Okay, and just you're gonna take it, and I like to do a solid line. Now the reason that I do that is because I just feel like it gives so much more structure. I'm gonna continue with that darker shade, this one right here, and we're gonna go to a little bit past this area. Now this area right here is going to be the peak of the brow, okay? That's gonna be the highest point of your eyebrow. So what I'm gonna do is I like to go about 2/3 of the eyebrow, okay? So about right here, and I wanna just connect this, okay? Connect. Now you don't necessarily have to connect to the top of where you had it, because you may have, you know, done what I did and go a little bit high, but go to the top of your brow. You just know that that's gonna be the highest point, okay? And then connect it down. Like it's pretty much like a nice little straight curve there, right to that line. And then you don't always need more product, but for today's purposes, we will, and you're just gonna fill this in, okay? So you wanna just make sure it's nice and filled in. Again, it doesn't necessarily matter, like the hair, if it's going all crazy, like in this instance mine is, don't worry about that, okay? And then you just wanna have a nice tip right there, because the end of your eyebrow most likely isn't going to be thick and rounded. You know what I mean? Okay, so once we have that done, you're gonna clean your brush off. Now we're gonna come in with the lighter color. And again, I'm just gonna kind of tap it on there. And then we're going to take this right here. We're gonna just connect this to this. Okay, oops, wrong color. Oops, that would be bad. Okay, and then just lightly, I'm gonna put a little bit more and we're just gonna lightly connect it over. So I'm just shading in this area here. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna lightly comb through. We're gonna get rid of any excess powder that's perhaps left behind. And just kind of get those brows put into place. And the other thing I like to do too is right here at the beginning, we're just gonna kind of thin that out. I don't want it to look super, super like bold. I want it to look kind of, you know, like it progresses, you know. Okay, so you don't want any harsh lines. And again, I'm just using this to do that, okay? I'm gonna take out a little bit of fallout, not a big deal. This is why I actually like to do my eyebrows before my foundation. I do my eyes and my eyebrows before I put foundation on because sometimes a little bit of the powder can fall. All right, so you'll notice on this side, I didn't use the markings anymore. I've been doing this now for a little bit, so I know exactly where to mark my eyebrows out. But in the beginning, for a really long time, I did have to go and mark them each individual time. So there's no shame in doing that. And you'll eventually just pick it up. I'm telling you, with eyebrows, practice makes perfect. It takes a little bit of time, but you will definitely figure it out. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and finish this up. This line's a little bit harsh, so we're gonna just kind of work the product in as such. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is this is like the brow gel, okay? So what it is it's like a pomade. It works like hair gel. I don't know why I tapped it. It's obviously gel, it's not gonna come off. But what you wanna do is once you get your eyebrows the way that you want them, you're just gonna go over them. This is just gonna keep your brows in place. So if a windstorm comes, you're not gonna have an Albert Einstein situation with your eyebrows looking all crazy. But also, the biggest thing for me isn't really because I don't feel like my eyebrows move, is that I want to emphasize the hairs that I have, okay? So I feel like it just magnifies them, makes it look to where it doesn't look like they're filled in as much as, whoa, she has naturally thick eyebrows. I kind of do, but I kind of don't, okay? All right, so, okay, now if you want to be a little extra and you want those really clean, put together eyebrows, you know what I mean? Like you could just like cut somebody with them. Not really cut somebody. Don't cut anybody. How rude. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna get a little bit of concealer. Now this concealer is 2 shades lighter than my actual concealer. The reason for that is I want to brighten that area anyway. Okay, so not very much at all depending on product, but this one is amazing. This is what's it called? Skin Perfecting Concealer. It's a mineral based one. I get so much use out of it. I will not ever use a different concealer. But okay, so what you want to do then is you want to have a brush. You'll notice here, I should have showed you before I put concealer on. Oh, you can see it right there. So you'll notice that this brush has a little bit of a point to it. That's why you want a brush like this. It's worth the investment. They're not very much, and it's gonna make such a big difference. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here. Now right now I'm in the process of just getting everything ready because I'm going to be getting my eyebrows plucked pretty soon, or waxed, so I'm kind of not messing with them so that they can come out looking really good and less pain. Less pain is the game. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take it and you're going to clean that up. Usually I wouldn't have my eyeshadow done already, but I did. Okay, so then you're just going to go and all you're doing here is you're just cleaning everything up. You're giving your eyebrows a really nice shape, and you're making sure that the powder that you use to blend them out is covered. That's why you're using concealer. Okay, so you're just gonna kind of come in, and I like to use this. I don't use a lot of product. I actually just take a little more time with a little less product and blend this in. I like to come in and just kind of highlight. Now, like I said, this particular product is lighter than my skin color. So usually I would be doing this before I apply my foundation. In this case, I already have it on, but it's cool. You can just take a blending bud and just kind of tap it to where it blends out. Gotta be careful right here. I call this blending bud, I call it, you know, a blending bud, and I also call it a magic eraser because it'll just pick up anything. It's like the Swiffer picker upper, you know what I mean? So you can see the difference here between the two, right? This one just looks a little more clean, a little more put together. This one doesn't look bad, but it's not quite as like shank somebody, okay? And depending on what look you're going for, it kind of depends on what you want, okay? So we're just gonna take this, I'm gonna show you one more time. It's pretty simple. You're just gonna go in and really you're just going up to the brow and you're just giving it a really nice defined shape. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that, my friends, is how I shape my eyebrows. Now, if you have any additional questions, you know, feel free to put them down in the comments below. Oh, and if you found value in this, click the like button. Give me a thumbs up. Anyway, I hope that you all have a fantastic day, and thank you so much for tuning in. Bye, guys.